you can't be great and be liked at the same time. So you have to make a decision.
Describe to the people who don't understand what go giving means, opposed to go getting. Oh, yeah. Here right now with my guy X to the Xavier. I mean, listen, if you want to know about networking, if you want to know about people pleasing, if you want to know about serving, if you want to know about being a loyalist and really helping people grow a brand and traveling the world to do such a thing, this is the man you need to listen to right here, right now. X to the Xavier, man. What's happening with you, my guy?
How you doing, dog?
Oh, man, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, man. So we here right now in Hollywood, man. I'm glad you're here, man. We'll bring you down to Hollywood today anyways.
Yeah. So actually, I came down here with Tia. She owned a company called Stella, and for that company with the athletes and entertainers and people that have social influence, I basically helped her facilitate experiences through her private jet company. Okay. And she came to sponsor a big event out here, so I went and worked the room and met some good people. And we're going to continue to keep going on. So that's what brought me out here to California.
I love it, man. We met years ago, bro, and we just been tapped in and connected ever since. I mean, when I first met you, man, it was like our energy, our spirits just really connected on a level where it's like, damn, I'm never going to forget this dude. And I'm sure while you're networking and doing what you do at these events, a lot of people are feeling the same way as well. So let's break down a little bit about like what it is that you do and how do you do it. So for example, right, you're here right now. Shout out to Tia, Stella Jets, that's my girl. Shout out. You're here right now. In LA, you were moving the room. I mean, I can just imagine what you was doing, man. Like, you talking to this person, connecting that person with this person. Oh, you do this? Oh, let me connect you with this person, and getting the room live and stuff. Like, tell me what it is exactly, what you're doing, how you do it, and why you do it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so, I like to just tell people I connect abundance. And, they always ask, what does that mean? And for me, obviously, you gave a good, picture and visualization of kind of how that flow, because it's really just being able to understand what the person needs for them to be able to get to their next level. And you only get that through being able to listen to them and understanding where their aspirations or where their visions are wanting to be at. So due to and connecting is honestly, listening and being able to respond effectively to the person for them to be able to understand that you receive their message. So I feel like I bring attention into, obviously my time, which means that any person that come across me, I'm going to make sure that interaction is intentional. And through that, obviously, I channel that and be able to go find and help them get to that next level. So I kind of mastered that, and then I took that skill set and understood that that was a big void for business. And people really need that ability for them to be able to grow themselves. You may have some leaders out here or of companies who have more of a reserved personality, but they understand that, their product is good, their numbers is good, and they need to be able to get that message out, but they're not just the person to do that. So, people like that find people like me for me to be able to help them get to that next level, or they just may not be able to connect to people that they need to connect to. And because I've built, a vast network across just from being that type of individual who bring value to the marketplace in that realm, obviously they come and they find me to be able to do that. So whatever realm inside that is kind of like, where I play in, and I just do that because obviously it's just my gift, shit, like everybody got their thing that they good at in this world. So like for me, always since I was younger, I've always been the person to, help my friends' parents agree to let them go play sports or convince their parents to go let them go to this party with me or whatever the case may be, or even convince my parents to let me go live with my family or coaches when I was 12, 13 years old, or go to this camp. So I've always been able to like network and talk and find my way to convince and get people to understand the vision. At that time it was basketball. Now I just do it in business.
Wow. I want to go a little bit deeper into that, right? Because one thing I like about you is I see a lot of myself in you. You know what I mean? Especially how you work in the rooms and doing what you do. Now let me ask you this: when you were younger, even now, like, is it easy for you to go up to a girl and just start talking to her, like at a club, a party, or a bar, or just at a social network? Is it easy for you to go to a girl and just start talking to her?
Man, yeah, for sure. I mean, matter of fact, I attract that. I track
Talk
that.
about it.
Yeah,
Talk about it.
Yeah, I track that. Honestly, like, you know, I put myself in their shoes. You know, when I go inside there. So even from how my parents looks to prior to going inside that room, I know like what they gonna think. You know, when they walk in there. So I'm attracting that aspiration for them to come and be curious, to just figure out more. You know, like and then from that, obviously I channel it in the right way. So, you know, I see that before I even hit the room. But it's obviously, it's definitely easy to go and talk and, you know, mingle, males or females. But for the most part, I definitely, you know, go into a room and they be like, oh man, outfit fire. And then from there, what do you do, where you from? And then next thing you know, it's on and popping.
Yeah, man, I heard that, man. So what about sports, man? Like, does sports have anything to do with your ability to just go to anybody and start speaking to them and finding a commonality?
Yeah, for sure. Because, you know, in sports, you build character because you go through all emotions and phases. Obviously, if you progress up to higher levels, it gets to a phase where you having to go and speak and be in front of cameras, interview. You having to go to donors and speak to the individuals who's providing the money for you to continue to keep playing. You have to go and like do community initiative activities for you to give back, obviously, for people who support the team. So, you know, obviously then we go to the business side. You have to fail. You have to regroup. You have to work with a team of people for a common goal. You have to strive, go through challenges and adversity for you to reach that destination, obviously, in the hopes of you getting a championship each year. So all those intangibles and skill sets that you build through, you know, playing sports translate into like the business world.
So, okay, let me ask you this. For a single parent, or even for you know, two parents that has a child, it's showing social cues, meaning that, you know, they can go to anybody and talk at a young age. Which sport would you recommend that, you know, children get into to build that up, to build that ability to communicate and network in the long run?
Well, you know, my personal experiences only lies within 3 sports: basketball, football, and then I did track early on. But, you know, so I'm gonna be biased, obviously, because I don't really have experience of what the lifestyle was like in the other sports. However, I feel like basketball, definitely, and every sport has a community. So I feel like you're going to get the same value across any sport that you know play in, because you're growing up with your peers who basically love that same sport, and then you have ability to travel. You have AAU, so that gives you opportunity for you to see the world and meet other individuals from other states and see how they play in sports. But obviously, when you're not playing and you're around them, you get to interact with them and meet people from across different countries and, you know, build that. So in any sport, the lifestyle that you live, deciding to be an athlete, allows you to build all of those intangibles and skill sets that you basically saying, you know, because the sport makes you get outside your comfort zone. I never wanted to really be talking to people or going outside my way during that time. I really just wanted to focus on my craft, continue to hoop and continue to get better. However, once that ball stopped, I realized that skill sets that I did learn from me being forced, now it actually translate into the real world. So had I been more intentional and understanding that, then I would have been able to capitalize way more on opportunities. But now that I understand it, it's allowing me to capitalize on the opportunities that I have now.
Wow. So let's talk about it, right? Somebody who's coming up in sports, playing sports, and are, you know, traveling and coming across so many different people on so many different levels. What do you tell this person right now so that they can learn and capitalize now, so that when they do get into a position like you, that, you know, they can really utilize what they've learned right now as a youth? Yeah,
for sure. It's just, you know, a lot of people that's in sports, especially when you get to that, you know, the higher the level you go, you obviously you're focused on getting to the highest level, which is professional. That's the main goal. And in pursuit of getting to that, you obviously want to limit your focuses on other things. That's obviously what people are taught to do. But now we're in a new era. You know, athletes are getting paid. Kids are getting paid a hell of money. You go to college, you're getting a check. Universities are now allowed to, you know, directly pay the athletes. So now athletes are seeing their favorite athletes owning companies and becoming like, business athletes, if you want to call it that. But they're seeing, the athletes working with more brand deals, getting more companies, growing their visibility and reach through companies, as well as companies are growing their visibility and reach through athletes. So now that you have in this world, it automatically goes down to just being marketable and having a brand. And that's really what it comes down to. The more you have, the bigger your brand is, and depends on how marketable you are. And if you're very marketable, then you're going to always have money flowing in your life, because there's going to always be somebody who wants to reach that demographic of individuals that you conquered. Right. There's always going to be a company who need that demographic of people that started to follow you. So for me, you get that through networking and being around the right rooms and being around the right people, because you could get the fans, but then when you get the fans that don't have the companies, it don't matter. And if you have the companies and don't have the fans, it don't matter. So you have to find that balance, and that's kind of like what I encourage people to be able to see past. Even while you're still playing, realize that while you're inside and while you're still playing, don't look at it as somebody telling you to go do something else. Look at it as you're going to maximize what you're doing while you're in it, and you're going to make sure that you don't leave nothing on the table. No relationship, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because you just never know how that flows.
Yeah, so I've been watching you move, man, and I appreciate the way you're moving, because you're moving with integrity. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's a code of ethics when you're moving in these circles that we move in, especially when you're dealing with millionaires and billionaires, because they watch every single move and they keep score. As soon as you do something that's below, they're going to deduct the score. And same thing with us. We're keeping score on them as well. So at the end of the day, it's like when you're operating in these rooms, in these circles, and you're building brands for other people, sometimes you have to sacrifice your own brand, because it's like, hey, listen, I'm going to take a step back on my own stuff to help these people build their brands, because I have the knowledge and I have the foresight of what it is that they need. So when you look at somebody who needs your services and you're like, wow, listen, you have so much to give, you have all of this, I can help you bring it out. Like, what is the steps to actually helping somebody pretty much like bundle up their brand and give it to the world?
Yeah. So honestly, that's intentional to them. Because it's really not that I'm doing anything besides clearing their pathway. Like, that's honestly all I'm doing. And like, they have their vision and they have it's in their mind, but however, they can't grasp it into reality. And that may be a person, that may be money, that may be just like a tweak of the, whatever it may be. But I'm usually good at seeing that picture that they're giving me, and then the roadblocks that they have inside them from getting to where they at, to the destination. That's where I fill in those blanks and find those individuals to help them essentially conquer, where they want to go at in that realm. So that's kind of like how I use my ability for me to help an individual like that be able to grow their brand and get to the next level. Right.
So now, what about when you come across a situation where you're helping somebody build their brand? You're being seen with them so much, and you're becoming a part of their brand, where it's like your brand is really merging in with their brand. But is there ever a sense of disloyalty, and is that like a scary thing with building other people's brands? Like, look, you done used all of my energy to build your brand, and then now it's like you just kind of shoot me off to the side. Have you experienced anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, like, so look, it's a couple of situations. One, in order for you to be able to grow somebody's brand, at least within your network, you have to have association. So association drives sales. When, like, if I'm telling somebody I can get you jets, but they don't see me on jets, that kind of look kind of weird. If I'm around athletes and I'm letting individuals know that I can connect them with athletes for them to help to grow their company, it's a no-brainer. People gonna, so whatever you associate yourself with is going to make it easier for you to be able to sell, especially when it comes down to promoting and pushing and things of that nature. So my thing is, me getting brands to that next level and me associating myself with those brands is helping me no matter what. No matter however long that relationship lasts, because while they're with me, they're winning. So if we were winning for a year and then you feel like you could continue to go forward without me, then you just better make sure that you keep winning. But no matter what, within that year, I'm associated with the fact that we was winning. Wow. So even if I go on to my next situation, you may have thought that you did anything, but you didn't, because everybody gonna remember that phase of us winning. And if you don't follow up or go higher than where we was at, then the pressure becomes on them. Because at that moment, they know that, damn, well, you went down, maybe because maybe you left that dude or whatever have happened, and if you went to that higher level, then the foundation was already set for that. You know what I'm saying?
Fire, bro. That was fire, bro. That's crazy. So, like, when you're at these networking events, right, you meet so many people, so many different people, different names, different backgrounds, different businesses. How do you remember who they are when it comes time to follow up with them? Like, when you go home and you're looking at your phone, it's like, damn, who's Maria or who's Tim? Like, how do you remember who was who and what you spoke about? Do you take any kind of specific notes? Do you back in the day, if you're at a club, you get a girl's number, you'll say, Judy with the big booty or something like that. Like, how do you label them in your phone so that you remember who they was and what it is that you spoke about, so you know how to serve them?
Yeah, honestly, man, you only need one person in every room, and one relationship could change your life. So for me, every person in that room is not going to be for me. That's just not how it works. And every connection in that room is not going to be for me. But I'm looking for the one connection that is, though. So I go into a room understanding that it's impossible for me to retain and remember everybody that's going to be in here. But what I will do is I'm going to go in this room and I'm going to make sure everybody know at least what I do. and by doing that, once again, association. So if I let them know what I do, and in that moment, based off of what they do, they really need that. And at that moment, they usually connect and align with me, and I'll be that one relationship that I needed in that room for me to get to that next phase of where I needed to go. So essentially, I go in there basically marketing, making sure I'm marketing to myself in those rooms, making sure that when I leave there, if anybody want the resource and the skill set that I provide them, then they know that at least I'm the guy who can provide that. And then at the end of the day, if there's somebody in there that sticks out to me from what I know that I need for me to progress to my vision, I'll make sure that I make that relationship and I foster that. But like I said, that's easy to remember because it's not like a whole room of individuals are doing that. So I'm only really being very, very intentional, looking for that one relationship that's really going to be the real person that I need to know and meet to help me get to that next level. So that's kind of like how I do that.
So you're not really playing the numbers game where it's like I'll speak to 10 people, get 10 numbers, and then follow up, and then 3 of those 10 are going to respond, and we're going to connect, and we're going to take it to another level. You're just more like you are really like a sniper. You have your eye on a room. You see who it is, how certain people are moving, and you go after that one person and that one person only.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, every person in there, I'm going to market myself to, but I'm really just leaving it up to them for them to attract back to me. So I'm not in there I'm not the one I'm not the sales guy, so I'm not about to be treating it like a salesperson. I'm the attractor, so I treat it like I'm fishing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm putting it out there and casting, and then whatever comes, is going to hit.
Yeah. So
like, I'm looking at it like I'm fishing. But I'm putting my bait out there to everybody. I'm putting that bait out to the whole ocean. Everybody know what I'm doing. However, only one fish is going to hit the, so ain't no, and some room it may be I catch a big ass fish, you know what I'm saying? Or it may be small, but I'm mostly going about it in that realm rather than going in it and basically just trying to like make sure that I get all these people, because like I say, everybody is not your person. So I'm not about to be wasting my time trying to keep up with 10, and I'm in mad rooms, so that'd be over thousands of people to keep up with. So when you moving how I'm moving, then you learn how to be more precise and efficient, and then you able to foster through the bullshit and realize that for me, what I need people who have big goals, and my intention is set on that type of individual, and I know that it's not a lot of rooms with big time individual. So I'm well hunting.
Yeah. I like that, man. It's like me when I leave the house and I go into these networking events and these big rooms and things like that. Like before I leave the house, I look in the mirror, I give myself a good old yeah, and I tell myself, there's somebody out there who was getting ready today to go to this event I'm going to be at, and in their head they said, I'm going to meet somebody that's going to be able to take my business to the next level, that's going to be able to connect me with somebody who's going to be able to take my business to the next level. And in my head, when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm saying I'm that guy that somebody is looking in the mirror telling themselves they're going to meet today. So when I go into these rooms and I position myself in certain areas, I attract the people too, because in my mind, I'm like, I'm the one you were looking for. Exactly. Right? Like it was my brother, man. He told me something. His name is 6 Reasons. He on the Unqualified as Fuck podcast, Unqualified AF podcast. And we was just talking the other day. I was at his house, and he said something that was crazy to me, and I never heard it like this. He said, a lot of people go off of, it's all about who you know. And he said, no, you got to switch that up. It's all about who knows you. Because you can know a whole lot of people, but do they know you?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I think like that's your approach in the sense. It's like, look, I'm sitting here, I'm whale hunting, but when I catch you, I'm going to let you get to know me so you can know what I can do for you. You know what I mean? And I love that angle, man. I love that angle. So
I mean, like catching, basically, like you just said, like getting something is half the battle. That's not what I care about. Like if a client come and give me and say, hey, bro, here go 15 or here go whatever amount of money. Here you go. That I don't feel good getting that. I feel good knowing that they gave me the money and then I was able to give them the results that they were seeking. And 9 times out of 10, that results is basically if they give me 15, I got to give them more than what they gave me. So so whatever we did amounted to more, that's success. Then at that moment, I'm happy because at that moment I knew that they won from taking that investment inside of whatever we provided them, and whatever we did actually helped them succeed. So a lot of people would just be cool with just getting the money and then moving away and doing what they got going on, but that draws up. You know what I'm saying? Being that type of individual, that draws up. Or you better be good at something else. Whatever. But for me, I don't want the reputation of individuals saying that they didn't succeed and they didn't get to that next level with me. I want a reputation of individuals being able to say how much we helped them get to where they wanted to be and how we helped them actually brought their visions into fruition. And if I do that, then that's true abundance. That's like how you're going to always have money, always have opportunities, always have jobs, always have people flowing with you. So I'm in it for that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah, I love that, man. I love that. So let me throw something at you, right? Like as we grew up, we were always taught to be go-getters, right? Go get. If you want it, go get it. It's there for you. If you want it, go get it. But as I continue to get older and I continue to look at my circle and the people around me, I start realizing that we're more go-givers. And I feel like that aligns with who you are as well. You're more of a go-giver than a go-getter. And by giving, you're going to eventually get. So describe to the people who don't understand what go-giving means opposed to go-getting.
Yeah, so it's just like a universal law with the world. You give, you receive. That's like simple math. So obviously it's like, how do you apply that and translate that law into your world? So an example for me, if I know I give to receive, and that's what the world says, and I know that I'm a consultant and I'm offering a service that I provide, well, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to try to sell myself and let them know what I'm going to do. I'm going to give them 30 days of value. And I'm going to go so crazy in them 30 days of just connecting and bringing and putting them and bringing them around individuals that most of the times it never make it to the 30 days before they already giving me money from whatever we got going on and what they're doing. Because at that moment, I'm showing them. I'm not out there, and then by the end of them 30 days, it gets to a point where then at that moment, they say, well, what would it take for me for this to keep going on? So I understood that I had to take that rule and then figure out how can I apply it to my business. And then once I did it and I seen it work constantly over and over again, at that moment I found my glitch. So for me, when whatever else somebody else do, it's just finding ways for you to basically be able to take that simple law and apply it to what you have going on. And then at the end of the day, it's going to work because that's the formula of just how the world works. Whatever you put into it is what you're going to get back.
Wow. Hey, listen, man, you guys need to like and comment right now because my boy X is dropping stupid game for you guys to go into these rooms, network, and, really build a community for yourselves to serve. Listen, man, okay, I got the Yumpyard brand. I got the Yumpyard everything. Yump, that's my thing. I'm sure you see it all over the place, right? So Yump stands for you underestimate my potential. You underestimate my potential. My question to you is, have you ever been underestimated?
I mean,
this could be by somebody outside of you, or it could be by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Honestly, I don't know what nobody really doing, because I believe in me. So yeah. I know what's going on. Like if obviously everybody gonna. So put it like this: you can't be great and be liked at the same time. So you have to make a decision. If you want to be great, you have to understand that that's gonna come with not being liked. If you want to be liked, sometimes you might gonna be sacrificed becoming great.
Right.
So in essence, when I look at life from that perspective, I understood that I was going to be great, and whatever comes with that. But nobody opinions or what they looking at me is basically affecting that. And on that journey of me knowing that I'm going down this road of having to build the skill sets and having to overcome the challenges that I need for me to become great, I'm so locked in on that I just really don't see nothing besides me and me getting there to that destination. So whatever comes within that is basically what I look at as a challenge for me to be able to overcome. So if somebody, claim that I'm not who I am, or that I don't do what I do, then that's just more motivation for me to go and show them and turn up even more and let the results speak for it. So you can consider that underestimating, but I look at that as like, motivating.
Patrick Bet-David has a book called Choose Your Enemies Wisely. And what he does is to fuel him to his $1 billion corporation is he chooses his enemies wisely. Like in a book, he talks about somebody who, was down talking his father and then, ventured off and down talking him because you're your father's son. And he used that as fuel to be the person he is today. A lot of people use down talk as fuel. Some people can thrive off of, oh, you can do it. Some people thrive off of, man, you ain't gonna be able to do that shit. Come on, man, you're not gonna be able to do it. So, there's different ways that people really thrive and really just push up. And sometimes, man, like whether people want to admit it or not, people underestimate their own power. They underestimate their own potential. They underestimate what it is that they can do. And usually when you tap into, hey, listen, I'm underestimating myself right now, that's usually when you get up and go do something.
Yeah, honestly, you're right. Not thinking about it, like, that's a big thing too as well. Like, that's why I always put myself around other individuals that's doing things at a higher level, because it just allows me to see the next level for where I have to go. Right. So sometimes you just just don't know what's the next level, because you could be confident and believe that you can get wherever you want. But sometimes you just need to see somebody who's doing it on a higher level for you to be able to see, all right, this is one possible. And if I see somebody doing it, then it's done. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of mostly what it is. Obviously, a lot of individuals out here in the world do underestimate the value of themselves, and they're scared to step into their greatness, and they're scared to be great. But like I say, once you make that decision, whether you want to be great or whether you want to be liked, right, then at that moment, a lot of those things that you're talking about go out the window, because you realize that in this road to being great, these are all things that come with it. Like, all right, that self-limitation is out the window. You know what I'm saying? You understand that, like, all right, this is where I got to get to, like, and wherever you are not, that's the challenge. Like, whatever you are lacking or whatever you feel like you don't have or whatever you feel like you're missing, for you to become that person that you see, that's the space where you can conquer, and that's the challenge that's in front of you, which is exciting. People look at that as tiring and look at it as like that'd be the same reason why somebody won't do it. But that's the reason why I do it. Like, so like that's basically what individuals have to come within themselves. And once they realize that that's like, I'm gonna go and this is what I gotta do, and this is the reason why I gotta do it, then at that moment a lot of that go out the window. But a lot of people don't know why they're doing what they're doing, and they don't have no vision, they don't have no passion. So I feel like that's where it starts at. You have to, and if you don't know what you want to do, start with just visualizing how you want to be, how you want to live, how you want to feel, and what you want to do will find you. That will come back. But everybody know how they want to live. Yeah. Everybody know how they want to feel. You know what I'm saying? It don't cost nothing for you to sit back and close your eyes and picture that, imagery out, of what type of person you want to be. If you leave this earth today and everybody had to come around and collectively give their thought and opinions of the type of person that you was and what you contribute to the world, what would they say? And you can start doing that now,
Oh, yeah. What's up, my future real estate moguls? Welcome to Priceless Systems, which stands for Plug and Play Real Estate, where we're all about helping you shine in any market. I'm Francis John Nunez, and I am absolutely thrilled you decided to stop by. Imagine having compelling letters ready to go for off-market prospecting, client acquisition, referrals, buyer and seller correspondence, and so much more. It's like having a secret weapon in your real estate arsenal. But hold on, because we got something even more exciting for you. For a limited time, we're offering our complete real estate letter bundle, not for the regular price of $1,798, but for an exclusive price of $298. Inside the bundle, you'll find over 300 letter templates that cover every every aspect of the real estate game. Each template is crafted to captivate and engage your audience, saving you time and ensuring that the message hits right on time every time. And all you have to do is put your name on it, your email, phone number, and DRE number. Isn't this wonderful? But look, here's the real game changer. You can now take your marketing to the next level effortlessly. Just add your information, change the photos, and customize the colors to align with your personal brand. Elevate your brand and captivate your audience with a diverse range of templates. Don't miss out. Seize this opportunity now. Upgrade to the complete package and transform your real estate promotions like never before. Just click on the link below and unlock the power of over 70 templates for today's exclusive price. But don't just take our word for it. Listen to what fellow real estate professionals are saying about how these letters help transform their real estate business.
I just got the proprietary system, phenomenal system, a lot of value to it.
Here outdoor knocking today, we're gonna do 25 doors at least. We have our pop ray systems with us.
And the pop ray system is amazing.
I started to really sit down and look at, okay, well, what are some of the areas that I wanna focus on? I'm like, wow, this program has everything and more.
Dude, if you're a new realtor in the business or even a seasoned realtor who's been in the business for a while, you wanna check out his content. Full of content, he has a vault full of content. It'll help generate more business for you.
Like, I am a new agent, but it's helped me get through my process pretty simple. Like, I don't have to feel any anxiety that I'm messing something up or saying the wrong thing.
I'm a new agent, so I feel like this is gonna blow up my business.
If you're a real estate agent and don't have the pop ray system, you're missing out.
Papri Systems, I want to thank you so much. Everything that I do, all I have to do is just plug my name in and boom, start sending away. I really appreciate you. This is an awesome system.
And I think what I love most is the intention behind it. Like, it's built by, realtors for realtors. And it's just a full circle program. And so just want to share that. I love it. So, and I think you will too.
So check it out. I think it's worth every time and every penny you're gonna spend on it. And if you don't try, you will never know.
Get it today, order it. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. This is a really good system.
Here's to your success. See you on the other side. Yeah, and on that level, man, I feel like a lot of people, they die and take their potential to the grave with them. Not a lot of people are leaving their potential here, you know what I mean, for the world to see it. Because if you think about it, we're born into other people's potential that they outlived. When you're born into a school system, somebody created that. You're born into a politics system, somebody created that. You're born into a religion system, it was created, you know what I mean? So we're all born into potentials that people left here on earth for us to fall in line with and be programmed by. So listen, like, as you continue to grow, as you continue to process like your ability to be the person you are becoming, like, how do you study? Like, what do you study? Do you read like certain kind of books, or do your knowledge come from just like observing the world as you move through it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's all above. But it's not necessarily that these are the particular things that I do. It's just whatever you feel in yourself is whatever you're gonna be able to get back. So like, your habits is your destination to your success. And I understood that for me, I'm curious about the things that I'm not good at. So the things that I'm not good at, I go find those answers. And I'm also curious about the people who did it at the highest level. And I want to see essentially what systems or what teams that they build for them to be able to get to that level, because I'm going to start there. I'm not going to start at trying to, I'm going to start where they left off at, for me to basically play an uncharted territory and terrain. So for me, it's about just, one, identifying what was already done before me, the history of whatever craft I'm choosing to be on, who did it at the highest level, reverse engineering that whole system and situation, and then basically recreating my own set of formulas and habits that's going to allow me to basically get to where I want to go through that whole situation.
Wow. So are you like a believer of goals? Do you believe in the vision boards, or do you just keep the picture in your head and keep moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I believe all those things are the same thing, because, for instance, you put a goal out there then you create a vision board for you to keep on the front of your mind of those goals to hold yourself accountable. Then you basically every day have checkpoints and lists and things that you set as reminders for you to continue to keep going. And then you have then you gotta look yourself in the mirror and see if what you're doing every day is amounting to what you're saying you're gonna is what you're trying to achieve. And then you're tracking the progress every day for you to basically get to that destination. So when you look at all those things, it's not just one thing. It's like you have to do a combination of all those things. And then obviously, like I say, if you're reverse engineering other individual success habits, you'll start to see the commonalities in certain things that everybody do, you know, when it comes down to progression. So if every day you only have 24 hours and the only difference between you and another person is only going to be what you do in the 24 hours if you're both healthy humans. So therefore, you have to just realize that you have to try as much as you can to maximize your days and know that it's going to compound into success eventually over time.
Right. Yeah, and you have to really pay attention to your habits, because the habits every day, what you're doing correctly is what's going to get you to the next level. Okay, so let me break this one down for you, right? So as you know, we have different frequencies that we can tap into.
Yeah.
You have the frequency of love, hate, envy, jealousy. It can go on and on. To your knowledge, what do you feel is the highest frequency that a human can tap into?
I guess it has to be centered around love. Mm-hmm. I guess that's the one that's the one that rules all. Or destroys all.
Dang. So love can, wow. So you're saying love can destroy or build, basically?
Yeah, I mean, people do the wildest things based off of love.
That's a good one.
Like whatever that somebody, like, you're not going to get somebody like highest emotional peak outside of love. If somebody really, really love money and somebody take that from them, they're going to retaliate in a way that's going to be very destructive. If somebody love their kid and somebody do something to them, usually you get the beast out of an individual once it's disrupted, once their love is disrupted. Females, like, they love you so much and you do them dirty. That's why they go to the maximum peak, of extremeness. Like, so whatever you love, once that's destroyed, somebody could play with your trust or whatever. Like, you may get over that or whatever like that. Somebody disrupt your peace. Obviously you don't want them to keep doing it, but that could be like somebody just aggravating you at the store. Just make you was vibing. They just mess your peace up, but that ain't about nothing. But if somebody touch what you love, you gonna go crazy. So that got to be the highest frequency.
I like that. I'll build on that. I think personally, it doesn't have to be right or wrong. I think the highest frequency is authenticity. You know what I mean? Like, being authentic to yourself. I think there's nothing higher than that. Because if you look at the tree in the forest, is being authentic to itself. When you come across somebody who's just being true to themselves and authentic, I don't think it's anything that can move that's higher than that. For example, we have like Trump. He just got shot a couple weeks ago, and I mean, to be honest with you, I thought he would have got shot a lot sooner because of how authentic he is to who he is. He's unapologetically who he is, and that might ruffle a couple feathers from the opposite sides, or just people who just don't like people like that. Do you remember when that event happened, man? When he got shot in his ear, and honestly, somebody actually prophesized the fact that was going to happen like months ahead before it even happened. That was a crazy event, and I think that being authentic to yourself is probably the highest frequency. And again, I could be wrong, but that's just where I feel. And I agree with you on love too. That's a good one too.
No, I mean, you could look at that same situation, and I'm pretty sure you could come up with valid points of how being authentic drove that situation, and then you could also look at that same situation and see how powerful love was affected inside of it as well. So there's no right or wrong answer when it comes down to it, because in order for you to love at its highest form, you have to be true to it yourself. That's what brings out that. So when you look at that Trump situation, when you say authenticity, obviously it goes back to that quote that I said: you can't be great and be liked. at the same time. So he's chasing greatness. You know, he want to be the president of the United States second time. You know, after beating the case, after going through everything, and in him pursuing that greatness, people don't like him. They don't like how confident he is in his ability, how he speak, how he take action. They don't like that. So obviously that person, out of the love, once you go back to what I'm talking about, out of the love for whatever they love so much that they feel like he's going to destroy, they willing to protect that to that level of trying to take him out. So when it comes down to it, it's driving factors like Trump being that authentic person and chasing greatness got somebody who loves something so much that they wanted to protect was willing to take him out, for that same situation. So in all essence, basically the common denominator is just keep your frequency floating high. You know what I'm saying? Keep your frequency, like Tia say, my frequency is fly. Keep your elevation high. I flow in that highest realm and peak, and what you want lives within there, because that's why I use the word abundance, because it's a collectiveness of everything. Abundance don't mean one thing. It means everything overflow at its highest form, at its highest peak. So that's why I genuinely use that abundance of love, abundance of peace, abundance of authentic, of being authentic. So when you look at all of those, situations, scenarios, you'll find, peace, and you'll find that you'll need a accumulation of all those things, because some people feel like it's just one, but it's not just one. You have to basically be able to connect and string a series of all things, which comes into alignment. You know what I'm saying? That actually, brings that to fruition. So that's kind of like how I see that.
So do you see like a trend with black people who at one point would not come out and say, I kind of like Trump, to now that he's been, convicted, or now that he has like 34 felonies, and he's getting those removed, a majority of them. He's been shot, and so much common senses in regards to like what we faced and what we've feared and what he's going through. Like, do you feel like black people are more so gravitating towards him because of the fact that he's going through a lot of stuff that we are normally used to going through?
I mean, honestly, like I told you earlier, it's association drives sales. So Trump understood that in order for me to take myself and for me to build my brand on a higher level, I have to integrate into culture. And once he started to put himself and surround himself around people of culture and faces of culture and have the support of the black community, whether it be athletes or rappers and entertainers, and he publicly said that I'm going and I'm supporting and I'm riding with these individuals and I'm flowing, then by association, individuals that's inside his space that don't like that basically lumps him along. And then at that moment, he is willing to do whatever that comes with that. So I feel like more than it is those situations, it's the association that he did when he started to put himself around people of our culture that we look at in our highest lights. And once he did that, then basically that all those problems that comes with being associated with us came on to him. And then that's where the relatability starting to come in now. For us to be able to see like, all right, yeah, that's like what happened with Trump is what happened to whatever the other day or whatever. That's normal. But obviously those things and those type of situations don't happen to individuals like him when they don't associate themselves with us. So now that he's associated himself with us and he's getting the results and the backlash from being able to do that, and he's handling it how we would handle it, that's the relatability. You know what I'm saying? He's not coming back and, basically being soft about it. He got shot at and stood up and hold his fist to the sky. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, bro, like what's good? Like bro, like that's extreme. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel like you really King Kong after that. Like y'all tried to take me out, I'm here. Man. He stand up and he could have ran off stage. He could have did whatever he wanted to do, but he stood up there and literally held his fist to the sky and had everybody turned up. Like after they just went through a traumatic event, he had everybody in there cheering out USA. USA. So that's basically what we have to do as a culture, is take those situations and make the best out of them. And obviously he just showing some relatable things of just great people, you know, and I feel like that's what's helping him flow, especially more than his opposition. You know, especially way comparing more to his opposition that he's going against.
Yeah, I think we in a very, very weird time when it comes to this type of stuff, man. Especially the fact that so many people at one point was just afraid to speak up and say, hey, I don't disagree with what he's saying. Is he a hard person? I'm gonna be honest, he a hard person to defend, because you could defend him one day and he turn around and say some totally opposite or crazy stuff the next day. He's like, oh man, what did you just say? But at the end of the day, man, it's like this world is definitely going into a space where we've never been in before, or at least that we can recollect. I mean, of course, there's nothing new under the sun, but in regards to where I feel like we're going right now, these are the things that need to happen, right? So in every culture, in every region of the world, there's a few things that needs to be in order for the people to be controlled. You know, you have religion, which is a form of control. You have politics, which is a form of control. Media, police, government. You know, and I think those are pretty much the 5 common ones, right? And during COVID time, all of these things pretty much got shut down. You know, maybe except for media. Media was strong and running. Politics was strong and running. But guess what? Religion got shut down. You couldn't go to in a sense, you couldn't go to your churches to worship the Lord. You know, and then again, you know, with politics and stuff, like people were looking at it like, wait, what's going on? And all these lies start coming out. So what needs to happen in order for us to go into the new world, which we already are like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, the old world has to be corrupted. So politics has to be corrupted. We have to go against politics. Religion has to be corrupted. In a sense, we have to go against religion and say, hey, you know, these things are coming out. In politics, these things are coming out. In media, hey, we don't agree with what the media is saying. These things are coming out. So then the people are going to rise up and go against these things that we are normally used to in this world that we're in now. And that's going to create like a martial law. It's going to create like an uprising of the people. We're going to come together, go against, and it can, you know, ultimately create a civil war as well, because there's going to be people that's going to choose sides. So that's why I see this world going, you know, from where we are right now. And you guys can mark my word, because this is in the playbook. Now, in regards to this, like, are there any things that you feel are coming in the foreseen future that you may be afraid of? Or, you know, is there anything that you're preparing for? Or are you just going to keep moving the way you're moving right now?
Yeah, man, honestly, bro, I don't think God put me on this earth for me to be figuring out what he already got planned out. You know, so honestly, I have my own purpose here. And I feel like, you know, look at Martin Luther King Jr., any of these people that played in these realms of what you're speaking about, they followed their calling, and their calling led to the impact that they left on this world. They didn't know that by doing what they was doing, that it was going to be that big, and that when they passed away, that it was going to be all these things. They just did what was set in front of them. He didn't know, like Martin Luther King did not do what he did knowing that the whole world was going to know about him, and that he was going to create a speech and it was going to be famous, and he was going to have the whole, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just not, he was going to have a hotel where he got shot at, you know, like nobody know what they doing, you know, and nobody know that, but if you're following your calling and you're following you know, the purpose that God put for you on this earth, and you accomplish that, and if everybody do that on this earth, then all these things will get figured out, you know, and it will continue to move. At the same time, it also says that nobody know when he coming back, and nobody know what's going to happen or anything when it comes down to it. It just give you signs, just for you to just be aware of like what's going on and what times to be around. But imagine this: if you faithful and you doing what you've been doing your whole life, and that's your makeup, what does any of that matter? When it says that at the end of the day, you do these particular things, and this is what's going to allow you to be able to get to where you have to go to. So for me, when I look at things like that, and I understand that, one, I have my purpose, I have my vision. Two, what's for me is for me. So it don't matter whatever is going on in this world, whatever I need to do in my lifetime is going to get done in my lifetime, and ain't nothing that the world going to do to stop me from getting to that situation. So and no matter whatever situation that the world come into, you have to be able to adjust and adapt. That's what it comes down to, adjusting and adapting. So whatever the world do during that time, if it's no money, that mean nobody got money. That mean we want to adjust to adapt to trading, adjust to adapt to network, adjust to adapt to doing whatever you have to do, and whatever that skill set is what's going to allow you to survive. Because that's what we're going to do, survive. And you can't survive without being able to adapt. So at the end of the day, I trust in my adaptability for me to be able to mold myself to survive and live abundantly. And no matter whatever situation the world is in, no matter what, you know what I'm saying? That I don't care what happens.
Right, man. I love that, dog. I love that. And you know what, too? Like, I love the fact what you just said, because like your ability to go into rooms and network and connect dots is going to be able to get you further in life, especially when things come corrupting or come down, because at the end of the day, you have that ability that God gifted you with, and no matter what the time looks like, you're always going to have that ability to connect people with people.
Exactly.
You know? And I love how you put that, man. I definitely do, man. So, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, like Glorilla said, the day go in, you know? And honestly, you know, I look at it like this, like, we're all cells inside of a body. We're all cells inside of a body that's making the body work. This earth is a body. We are the cells inside of the body that makes it do what it do. The same way we have cells inside of our body that makes our body do what it do. But at the end of the day, it's like each cell is going to, you know, pretty much fulfill its own purpose. Like we have cells, if we get a cut right now, we have cells that's going to go heal it on its own. Just like if somebody gets shot right now, we have the ambulance that's going to come pick up the body, take it to the hospital, and help the body heal, you know? So I think we all play our own parts inside of this world, and I see the part that you're playing, and I really do appreciate, you know, what you're doing for the world, what you're doing for your community, and the frequency that you're operating on, and the vibration that you carry, the vibe that you bring into the room. I mean, it's just so much more you can do, and you're doing it. Like, how old are you anyways, man?
28.
28, and you're young still. Like, when did you realize you had this gift?
I mean, since I was, I mean, really just, I mean, I know myself my whole life, you know, like, people always, I guess, gave me that look. I'll say it like this, I became conscious of understanding, walking into my purpose more recently. In the past, it was just, I am who I am, and it's just working for me, and I'm living the life that I want to live. But when I got around more individuals, and I realized that a lot of people don't live my life and don't see life through my lenses, and not getting the same results that's just been easy to me and been like, you know, subconscious to me. And I realized that, damn, people actually need help for them to be able to have thoughts that allow them to attract good things and good favor and good fortune. Then I realized, then I started to just do it and give it. And once I realized the effect that it gave individuals and how much further individuals was getting from understanding my principles and the way that I was thinking, then it just fueled me for me to continue to keep doing. And then as I kept going on that journey, even right now, as I continue to keep going on that journey, I'm learning more and more every day of how I can perfect this and how I do it better for me to be able to help more. So I just found a purpose bigger than myself. And then once I did that, obviously God equipped me with the skill sets and the tools that I need for me to be able to, you know, fulfill a mission.
Wow. Do you see yourself ever going into the coaching world? Like, can you teach people to do what it is that you do?
Yeah, for sure. You know, right now, but you know, you can't coach until you get yourself, people respect coaches who has been where they want to be at multiple times. So for me, honestly, I just want to be successful first, and I want to drive success for the individuals, and I want to perfect my methods, perfect my theories. I want to do it I'm going to continue to do it at the highest level and continue to surpass those levels. And then it's going to get to a phase where at that moment in time, it's going to be for the next generation to give, and then they'll be able to use me as a resource to move them forward. But, you know, right now it's time for me, like, you know, put my work in and for me to grow and do my things, for me to build that formula so I can basically coach at the highest level. Because if I'm going to coach, I want champions, you know, but you can't get to championships if you're not there. So you have to be able, I have to go through that, my own journey of winning my own championships that I set for myself, for me to get me to coaching other individuals to get to that same phase.
Right. And one last question, man, before we wrap this whole thing up. X, what does success look like to you?
I mean, shit, I'm living that, honestly. you know, it just means continues to make the world a better place than where I left it, you know, and continue to help individuals thrive and prosper. And through me doing that, I'm able to thrive and prosper for me to get what I achieve for myself as well. And honestly, health, me being able to grow my, you know, son and allow him to take everything that I built and stack on top of that, which that success is undefined right now. But me being able to just continue to like know that every day I wake up and I go to sleep, I'm maxed out and I made the world a better place than I did before. I understand that that's going to end up accumulating into a successful, you know, lifestyle when it's all said and done.
Man, appreciate you, my dog. We just had a fire podcast, fire conversation, man, about networking, about developing, about, you know, the world, about how to see the world, about, you know, being in big rooms and still being who you are, being authentic to yourself, being loved. You know, man, it's just so much. You guys got to definitely go back and watch this all over again and unpack what it was that was said. My boy really just brung some game, and I hope you guys really take it well and really take notes and dissect everything, because, I mean, man, for this man to be so young and so knowledgeable, it's a gift to even have him right here on the Yumpyard Podcast. And again, man, I just want to say thank you for joining us today.
No, for sure, man. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.